Okay, happy Wednesday tonight. I didn't join you on a Tuesday night as I normally do because last night was my husband's birthday. And so we took the evening to hang out, play some games with the kids, and of course have a little bit of birthday cake. So here we are on a Wednesday to talk about energy and emotions and how we can use oils and good nutrition to really support us. So I have over the summer come to you from the cottage to my mom's basement, and now I'm sitting in a hotel room in quarantine in Cayman. So it's been quite the journey, and so I've committed to sort of showing up here for you guys pretty much every week through the summer, and so I hope you're showing up for yourselves. I hope that you're making sure that self-care comes first, and so that you can really put your best foot forward. So that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about tonight, is the self-care that then will convert to positive emotions and positive energy for you. Okay, so we're going to start off with oils and gratitude. So I think everybody has heard the concept that gratitude can really carry you through a lot of tough times and a lot of things that might feel heavy. And certainly for the last 6 months, I think all of us worldwide have felt some heavy emotions and things that we would love to feel better about and be able to control things a little bit more. And we're not often in control anymore, and we have to kind of roll with it. So I've certainly learned to be agile and just roll with the changes, right? And so I try not to over plan too much, and if I have made a plan and it changes, then it is what it is. So you kind of just again roll with it. And that is a really good lesson in sort of perception. So your perception of a situation can really dictate your mood. So any scenario, you always have a choice. You have a choice to show up to the job that you don't love with a positive attitude and energy to just put your best foot forward and do the best job you can. Or you can show up to that same job with that sort of grudge on your shoulder and the negative vibes that will only then make it that much harder. So you always have a choice, every situation. So always look to see what you're in control of and how you can best move forward in the best positive manner. So when we look at stress and anxiety, depression, all the things that are sort of being felt worldwide for different reasons right now, we know it's an issue. It's an issue in our homes. It's an issue in the workplace, in our communities. And so we really want to talk about some of the tactics that you can use to overcome those, gratitude being one of them. One of the things I've adopted through COVID was meditation, and I started with the Ziva online training, which was excellent. It was a 15-day program, and it really allowed me to get past a lot of the sort of misconceptions or hurdles that I was feeling about meditation. The concept that you have to have this perfectly quiet space, that you have to sit a certain way, that you have to clear your mind, which you can't do unless you're a monk, and many of us are not. So it's a concept of meditation for busy people. And the whole idea of that is that it'll give you this sort of renewed sense of energy. And I can say, I think I've been doing this for about 3 months, maybe. I think it's been about 3 months now, 3 to 4 months now. And my ability to focus and execute on a task is much better. I am calmer. I said I'm rolling with the punches as they come, and just learning to sort of, again, just take things in stride and, not letting the little things get to me, because there's a lot of little things, right? And that can really build up. So one of the activities in this Ziva meditation is a breathing exercise. So I thought I'll just take you through that quickly. And that's really obviously to just get you calm and in the right frame of mind. And also, sort of that breathing technique can automatically just sort of reduce your stress. And even if you are, say you're at the office and you get off a phone call and it's made you aggravated or annoyed for whatever reason, before you go on to the next thing, stop and take 4 deep breaths and do that 3 times, and see that you don't move into the next activity with a little bit of calm, right? So when you're doing these breathing exercises, it's really important to do a really nice inhale, but we're talking like a 4 count inhale, holding it at the top, and then a long exhale. So either a 4 count exhale, could be a 6, you can try 6 and 6, 3 and 3, whatever you're comfortable with, but try to build up. So when you first start, do maybe 2 and 2 and hold for 1, and then move from 4 to 4 and hold for 2. So just try to balance that out a little bit. And if you have congestion, you don't have to breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. Do both out of your mouth. Again, that's the beautiful part of this Ziva technique, is that it's not so rigid, right? You can really make it your own, and something that you enjoy doing, much like exercise. If you find something you enjoy, you're more likely to do it, and that's the point. The point is not perfection, the point is actually doing it and the execution. So we'll do 1 really nice inhale, a nice deep breath, 4 count, and then we'll start our class. So inhale for 4, give your eyes a little close. Hold. Exhale. Okay. All right, so do that 2 to 3 times anytime you need to. And I said, if you haven't tried meditation for one reason or the other, that Ziva program honestly was great. And now I can meditate twice a day on my own without a guided script, and it's fantastic. So give it a try. Okay, so here's the foundation of good energy and solid, balanced emotions: proper nutrition. So we'll talk a little bit about how you have 3 brains and the gut-brain connection, but honestly, your nutrition goes so far to control your mental stability and your well-being, and certainly your energy, right? If you are not fueling the tank, if you're not putting gas in the car, it is not going to go. So making sure you're getting proper nutrition, and that should be balanced nutrition. There are so many different ways to eat these days, and so many different opinions on it. I've shared this before. I'm all about balance. I think you need a balanced plate at every meal. Should have your protein, you should have greens, fiber, you really need, and some fats, healthy fats, right? So avocado, nuts, olive oil, those sorts of things. I do not shy away from the fats when I put together a meal. We're not talking saturated fats, we're not talking about fried and greasy foods, we're talking about really good, nutritious fats, okay? So having a balanced plate at every meal, that keeps you feeling full longer, so you're not snacking, you're not sugar crashing, all of those things that can affect your energy throughout the day. Magnesium. Magnesium is one of those minerals that we can be deficient in quite commonly, and magnesium controls so many different parts of your body processes. It's somewhere upwards of 300 to 600 different bodily functions, I think, depending how you classify them. And if you're magnesium deficient, a lot of those are not going to work optimally. Certainly women can be more deficient in magnesium, so I take a magnesium supplement every night. It helps with rest, it helps with digestion. It really is a great supplement to take. I also always take my LLV, so that is Doterra's supplement line, these 3 combined. So you're getting your cellular vitality complex, so you're getting all your omegas and your sort of supportive vitamins and minerals and nutrients in the microplex, and then there's also the omega, which is going to have fish oil. So there's a vegan version if you don't have fish. So if your fish oils, all of your good fatty acids. So LLV, good magnesium supplement, and a proper diet going to go a long way to keep your energy up without crashing, without getting those afternoon slumps, and really helping with your cognitive function, right? Water. Obviously, water is a big one. You got to stay hydrated to keep sharp. Water, the general rule of thumb is between so half your body weight in ounces. So for example, if you are 150 pounds, you're looking at 75 ounces of water in a day. Do the math on that, or pick your favorite water bottle and really make sure that you're actually getting that amount of water in a day. That's before you have any expenditure with exercise. So if you do lots of cardio and you're sweating it out, you're going to want to replenish that water as well. So that baseline is for your basic bodily functions. So making sure that you're staying hydrated, super important for energy and again to balance your emotions. Essential oils can really support the cellular communication and oxygenation. So we'll get into a little bit about how the oils support later, but using oils to support your emotions really is really impactful. And one of the reasons is that it hits the bloodstream so quickly. So when you need that little bit of a pick-me-up, and you do a quick inhalation of some, say, wild orange, put some on your palms, rub it together, that impacts your whole system super fast. So really effective way to be able to, again, increase that sort of energy and emotional support. Perception. So we talked a little bit already about perception, but how you perceive something, you can choose to be happy, right? There is a choice there. So when you make that choice to be happy, trust me, just notice it. Just wake up one day and go, you know what? I know that whatever task I have ahead of me is not something that I love to do. But if you spin it and you tell yourself, you're doing this for a good cause, you're gonna, even though you don't enjoy it, it's good exercise, whatever the case may be, spin it. Put a positive spin on it. All right. Negative thoughts, so the opposite of being positive is going to be negative. And these negative thoughts actually do break down the body. They create stress in the body, and mental stress and anxiety actually creates a physical reaction in your body and can create disease, fatigue, all of those things. So having those positive thoughts is so key. Sleep, good quality sleep. So we do a class specifically on sleep, so won't dive into that one too much just now, but know that our essential oils can support us in good sleep. So something like the Serenity blend, which is the calming blend. So a couple drops of this diffused before bed in your bedroom can really help just sort of calm the nervous system and help you sleep a little bit better. But also things like making sure the room is dark and making sure, again, that if you get up 3 times of the night to go pee because you decided to drink all your water just before bed, that's not going to lead to good sleep. So, and there's lots of apps, and I know there's Aura rings, and there's lots of things to track your sleep. Try to track your sleep for a week. Much like keeping a food journal. If you don't know where you're falling down or what's missing, sometimes it's really hard to make a change. So try tracking your sleep for a week using either a Fitbit or Apple Watch or whatever sort of device you like, and really see what your patterns and your rhythms are. And then you can sort of work towards trying to make sure that you're getting that right amount of sleep. It's also really, really critical to go to bed and wake up at the same time. Your body is naturally designed to rise with the sun and set with the sun. And so a lot of us push, the setting of the sun is 7 o'clock and we're still up at 1, right? You actually have some really key windows of good sleep, and they actually are between sort of like 10 and 12. So you really want to get that good sleep in. Regardless of when you go to bed, your body's natural rhythms are there. So yes, there are people that are natural night owls, but that could be a product of their environment, or that they do shift work, or whatever that might be. They've trained their bodies to do that. But obviously, if you think back to where we started from before we had electricity, you would rise with the sun because that was your source of light, and the animals were up and needed to be tended to, and there were the chores to do and what have you. And then once it became nighttime, it was no longer safe to be out because you would have predators and you wouldn't have any more light. So that's when you would retire for the evening. So it makes sense that our bodies follow these sort of natural rhythms of the earth. And so the more we try to fight those, the more you're creating that stress in your body. Again, so we talk about morning routines. We talk about that in the Healthy Habits class. So key, again, to stick to some sort of routine so your body knows what's happening next. So I've created this morning routine now for myself that is actually quite lengthy. And so I have to get up at, say, 5:30 to get all of my morning stuff in before I start my day. But honestly, I feel so good knowing that by the time I sit down to my computer for work, that I have achieved so much already, and that I've done a lot of my self-care for the day before I've even started, giving to other people. And that's critical, because if your day goes wonky for whatever reason, and you then don't get to the gym after work, or you work late and you don't get dinner on time, or what have you, you've already done that part for yourself in the beginning of the day, so you're not always last on your list. So having those morning routines is really important. And good digestion. So there's lots of oils and supplements that can help with good digestion. Certainly LLV, Terrazyme, I've talked about this one again in our Healthy Habits. It's a digestive enzyme that helps break down all of our food, makes it a little bit easier for you to process. And that gut-brain connection is real. And if you have poor digestion, you're going to feel sluggish. Your body is keeping in stuff, those toxins and things that the excess that it is meant to expel, it's holding that in, and then that starts to get reabsorbed into your bloodstream. So you want to be eliminating continually, and so good digestion is so key for energy, and again, creating that sort of positive emotions. So a little bit on positive thoughts. So if you believe in visualization, again, this is another term that I think gets thrown around a lot, but is really simple to break down. When you focus on something, you then start to see it over and over again, right? So the idea is that you visualize how you want your day to go, how you want your life to look. And the more you focus on those things and looking forward and looking at the positive and having those goals and aspirations, the more they start to come to you. And a simple example is you buy a new red Honda CR-V. All of a sudden, every third car you see is a Honda CR-V. And why is that? Because you now have an affiliation with that, which then means you pay attention to it. It could have always been that there were 10 in the parking lot where you park at work, but now that you have one, you notice those 10. Before, you would never see them. So there's lots of things like that it's, the law of attraction, it's the visualization. So visualize that you are a happy person and that you are going to go through your day with positivity, and you will start to see that just come to you. Other people also react to that. If you walk into a room and you are lit up and you smile and say good morning, it's really difficult for everybody else to be, poo-poo about it. And there might be one person in the room who didn't get their coffee yet, but I can assure you that your approach to that is going to change everybody else's day too. Same with getting in the elevator. You be the first person to say hello and good morning, and then eventually people will. Otherwise, everybody will just stand there and stare at the numbers, ticking their way up. So try it and see how it works. Okay, so let's talk a little bit too about emotional intelligence. So if you're not familiar with the term emotional intelligence, it's actually, in the world we live in now, recognized as more valuable than your IQ, right? So it's called the EQ. This is your IQ. Your IQ is always your intelligence, right? So how they rate your intelligence, but that's really from a textbook perspective, not from how you can perceive and interact with others. And that is so critical in our world today. We are 90% of us in a people-based business, right? No matter what that is, whether you are in sales or you're a doctor or you're a lawyer, you're continually dealing with people all day long. And being able to read people, to be self-aware of how you're coming across, to be self-regulating, so being able to control and handle your emotions, all of those things will actually elevate you above someone who simply has IQ, a high IQ. So just again, focusing on how important it is to have our emotional balance and emotional intelligence in check. So again, coming back to being self-aware and being intentional about how we go about our day. So we talked a little bit about there being sort of this brain mind-gut connection. And it said that we actually have 3 brains. So you have your cognitive brain, your thought and your intellect. Then we say we have our intuition, which is our heart, right? Then we also have our gut. So you'll often hear people say, oh, I have a gut feeling about this. That's not necessarily just a saying. 90% of our serotonin our happy hormone is actually created in the gut, right? There is this strong correlation between our emotions and our digestive health. So we technically have 3 brains, how you choose to listen. Do you follow your heart? Do you follow your gut? Or do you just think with your brain? So, positive thoughts. So again, just the positive spin, but trying to be, stopping criticism of others and yourself, right? So again, flipping that, try to look at the positive of every interaction, having love and self-acceptance. So not focusing on all the things that you would want to change about yourself. Focus on all the things that are great about yourself. Laughter is, of course, the best medicine. After a day where you're just not feeling yourself, call a friend who has, one of those really great sort of outlooks, or watch a funny movie, or even some of those silly cat videos on Instagram that just make you laugh. Like you can't not laugh, right? So laughter is a really great medicine. Flip the switch, not the news. Go and find something that makes you happy. Service. There is no doubt that providing a service to others can elevate your own happiness. And again, it's that contagion. It's that, you do something nice for somebody else and it always gets paid forward. So just, remembering that service is not always just for the other person, that it is something that gives you, gives you sort of that great sense of accomplishment, right? Find something that you can do for somebody else. And then pause, meditate, take time for yourself, self-care, go have a nice bubble bath. Couple times a week, I love to take a nice bath with my Epsom salts and some of my oils, and a little bit of baking soda, and just, get in there. And sometimes I'll be quiet. Sometimes I'll watch, something on YouTube that I've been wanting to catch up on. There's so many different ways to just find a little bit of time for yourself. And every day is a new day, right? So yesterday didn't go the way you wanted. You weren't as positive as you wanted to be yesterday. And so the good news is tomorrow you can start again and rewrite your own story. Okay, so here is our oil piece of the class. We use our oils aromatically, topically, and internally. So basic guidelines around those. Aromatic is using, say, a diffuser, putting a couple drops on the palm of your hand, rubbing them together, cupping over your nose, doing your great big inhale. I love to use a roller ball, a little bit on my wrists, a little bit behind my ears. That's a really great pick-me-up. That's also a topical application, but because I can put them on my wrist, do an inhalation, I'm doing an aromatic experience and a topical experience. When you apply oils topically, you always want to dilute. So when they're in the roller ball, they're already pre-diluted, which makes it easy. So you'll notice as we go through the class, pretty much all the oils I have with me right now are roller balls, because that's how I travel. Set the application so much easier. So dilution is really, say the palm of your hand is your carrier oil, fractionated coconut oil, rosehip oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, coconut oil, whatever you want to use. A little bit of oil in your palm of your hand, a drop or two of your favorite oil, and rub together and then apply. It creates greater surface area and helps with the absorption. Essential oils are aromatic compounds. They are super tiny molecules, which is great for getting them into our system, into our blood flow, but what it also means is that they evaporate really quickly. So the dilution helps with the absorption. The less is more certainly applies to our oils. These oils are 100% pure essential oils. They are super potent. So a little goes a long way. You're always better to, with an application, so say you have some sort of joint pain and you're trying to use the oils to support your joint pain. You would apply to that local area, say it's a knee, put it on the knee maybe 3 times a day, but only a couple drops at a time. There's no point putting on 10 drops all at once. Couple reasons. One, your body can only absorb and process so much at a time. You don't want to overtax the system. Your liver has to process everything you take in, so you really want to make sure that you give it a little bit so it can actually, go to work, be effective, help with that inflammation, and then reapply again in a few hours. And doing that sort of steady application, I said, is far more effective than doing a whole bunch all at once. That goes the same for your diffuser. Most of our diffuser recipes call for between 4 to 6 drops in a regular diffuser, say a 400 ml diffuser. You do not want to use 10 drops. That's a complete waste of the oils, and it will probably overpower the room initially. So better to use less is more. Okay, and then the internal use. So again, Doterra is the only oil I would advocate for internal use because we understand the sourcing and quality testing for our oils, and we know that they're pure, unadulterated essential oils, pure plant, therapeutic grade essential oils. Those are the only ones you can ingest. I take them through our LLV. There are some oils in the LLV collection. I also take them in the form of, say, a couple drops of a citrus oil in my water through the day that is very cleansing and also makes your water taste yummy. I add peppermint to my smoothies, peppermint to my brownies. You can cook with the oils. That's actually a class we have coming up in September. So there's so many different ways you can use the oils internally. Again, less is more. It's not a lot, just a little bit, and you're getting that really beautiful sort of natural flavor and enhancement. So when we talk about oils for emotions, there's actually a specific emotional aromatherapy kit. In that kit, there are 6 oils, and they are a blend of mints and citrus and herbs and trees and florals. And again, I don't have it with me because again, I'm traveling. There's a wheel, and it's the aromatherapy wheel, and it shows you which types of oils, so whether they be citrus or trees, to support which type of emotions. So citrus are always really uplifting and happy, and then you get the trees that are more grounding and balancing. So you really can use the oils depending on, sort of what the emotions are, or you can combine them as well. So some of the oils in that collection, the first one is called Motivate, one of my favorites, and I literally ran out while I was traveling. It's a really nice blend of citrus and a peppermint, and yeah, it's really yummy. I know a lot of people love it. That's sort of a go-to one out of the emotional kit. Then there's Cheer. So I equally love Cheer. What did I have that right here? So this is the Cheer blend. Again, really uplifting. This is more of a citrus and spice. So wild orange, cinnamon, and this one I actually just wear for perfume. I've been carrying this around with me for the last few weeks and literally just kind of keep putting it on through the day as perfume. Love the smell of that one. Then there's Passion, and that one is more inspiring. So cinnamon, cardamom, clove, really more earthy, spicy, which is great. Then there's Forgive, which is the renewing blend. And that one is more herby, so it's a very herbaceous one. So probably not one that you would use for, say, a perfume, but one that you may use if you feel like you need that sort of sense of renew. And then there's Console, that comforting blend. This is rose, ylang-ylang, frankincense, sandalwood. So many beautiful oils in this one. And the florals, so the rose and the ylang-ylang, those are really sort of deep, grounding, emotional oils. So that Console blend is really beautiful. And then there's Peace. So Peace is a reassuring blend. This one is more floral and mints. So we've had citrus and mints and citrus and spice, and now we've got citrus or florals and mints. So again, these blends are all created very intentionally based on a lot of science and a lot of research into how our bodies react to the chemical constituents in these oils and how our how the profiles mix and what will then help support in what scenarios. So not done by accident. And then of course frankincense, and I've got my frankincense here in a roller version. This one is this is called the King of Oils. This is basically, if in doubt, use frankincense. That goes for skin conditions, emotional support, pretty much anything. The amazing chemistry in frankincense allows it to pass the blood-brain barrier, which is actually not very common with a lot of organic materials, basically, right? So between the composition of these chemicals and the size of the molecules, it has some pretty powerful ways to travel through our body. Makes frankincense really unique. Okay, so that was sort of our class for today. We talked a little bit about nutrition, a little bit about mindset, a little bit about some of our oils that we can use for emotional support. I should also sort of mention Adaptive. This is actually our emotional support blend, launched, I believe, last convention. I feel like it's been around a lot longer. It's one of my faves. It comes in a capsule version as well. So anyone who is really struggling with stress and anxiety, depression, this is a really supportive blend. The capsule version is not just the oils, it's actually an herbal blend to help support. And then this is the topical application. And simple things, you can use this before flying if you get anxiety, before a big meeting, just to help calm your nerves. This is a great one just to sort of keep around. And I think, certainly right now, where emotions are high, this is a great one to have on hand. And I actually just love the smell of this one. I kind of wear this one for a perfume too. So this one's a really great one. Speaking of new and convention is coming up next week. So super excited to see the new product launch. We kind of find out at the same time everybody else does. Next Wednesday night will be the full product launch of all the new oils in our collection, any new products that Doterra has created with these beautiful oils. And then we have 3 days of oil education and all of the going to be some really cool stuff with convention. And it's open to everyone this year because it's virtual and online. I normally travel to Utah at this time of year and attend the conference in person and get to hang out with all my cool wellness advocate peeps, which is always so much fun. But this year we're all doing it from our own living rooms. And so Doterra is really trying to create something cool this year. And if you don't have a ticket yet, you can still get one on the Doterra website. And I'll share out some links. I have been posting. The conference is called Pursue. So if you see that popping up on my feed, that's what that is. And so the convention's running next week, starting on the 9th of September. I think tickets they were on sale for $25 up until Monday, and so they'll be up, I think maybe $35 now. But honestly, it is such an amazing couple days, and it's not all day every day. They've tried to break it up so you can kind of get in a couple sessions, and then it's open to you through, I believe, the end of October to sort of rewatch some of the segments if you've missed it, so you can kind of get some of the content on your own time. One of the cool things they're doing is a house tour, going room by room in this cool house that they've built to show how we can incorporate oils throughout our home. So I think that's really fun, and I'll probably try to do one of those type of classes in my own home after, and share with you sort of how I've integrated oils into my home too. So I hope you've enjoyed our class tonight. I hope that tomorrow morning you wake up and recognize it is a new day. You are the author of your own story, and that you go out there and have an awesome, positive attitude, tons of energy, and balanced emotions. So happy Wednesday. We'll see you next week. Bye.